Hey everyone, welcome back to the Spider-Man No Way Home web series, where we follow all the latest updates and rumours regarding Spider-Man No Way Home. This is episode 10, and today we are breaking down the brand new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. This has got to be one of my favourite trailers of all time, because of how much we see and how much theorising it has caused. I will only talk about the new scenes or quotes we hear, so let's get into the breakdown. So the trailer starts with a shot of Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the rain with tears in his eyes. He has cuts on his face which would indicate that this is after a fight. It seems this is at night and he is wearing a red suit, so this is most likely the integrated suit after the final battle. He looks like he is not only upset but also in shock, so we could be seeing a Peter Parker right after the death of one of his friends or family. Possibly, from what we see later on in the trailer, MJ's death. We hear Peter talking to MJ about how the only time he had felt normal since he had been bitten by the spider was the week she found out he was Spider-Man. This could be building the relationship between the two to make MJ's potential death that much more painful for the audience and Peter. We see Spider-Man swinging into the subway with MJ in an attempt to hide from the authorities and media. Doctor Strange talks about ever since the spell went wrong, visitors have been appearing from every universe. We finally get a shot of Green Goblin moving through the smoke that his bomb created. We also get a really cool shot of Electro firing lightning at Spider-Man, who is wearing the black suit, which we now know to be the red and black suit turned inside out. We see some more destruction from Octavius with the same line from the first trailer.
Hello, Peter.
But we also see some more of their battle on the bridge, with a really cool slow motion shot of one of Octavius's arms pinning Peter to the wall, exposing his face, as his Iron Spider suit disappears. Now, like in Avengers Infinity War, Iron Man's nanotech suit disappears as it gets more damaged. The same is happening here with Spider-Man, however the nanotech is integrating itself with Octavius's arms. We hear Octavius say, "You're not Peter Parker," in a confused voice, which would mean that up until that point, he thought he was fighting Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. We then cut to Peter, MJ and Ned in their hideout, asking Octavius what his name is. We see that Spider-Man has captured him, but we do not know how he does yet. Octavius says his full name and the three of them laugh. It then cuts to an incredible shot of New York with yellow lightning above the clouds, presumably coming from Electro, where we see a Captain America shield surrounded by scaffolding. Now this is because they have made the Statue of Liberty holding Captain America's shield. We see a poster of what the final product will look like on the side of the scaffolding. Then, Spider-Man is swinging between transmission towers at sunset in the inverted suit, and this is where we see the fight between him and Electro, and later on, Sandman. We get one of the coolest shots in the trailer with Spider-Man in the foreground with Doctor Strange's magic around his wrist and a phone taped to his chest and appears to be FaceTiming Ned and MJ. In the background we can see Electro forming and possibly extracting power from the towers. There is then a little sarcastic joke from MJ to Doctor Strange, which gets him to ask politely to fix what they have done. We see another swinging shot of Spider-Man in the same scene where he fights Electro, and he is swinging away from the city, which would lead me to assume that he is going to try and find Electro and take him down, instead of Electro going to him. We then see J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, and then an aerial shot of Sandman and Electro terrorizing the city. I think this is just as they enter this universe and escape together out into the woods away from the city. Dr. Octavius says that Spider-Man is fighting ghosts, and we hear Doctor Strange say that all the villains died fighting Spider-Man and how it is their fate. We see Spider-Man in the integrated suit try and block one of Green Goblin's grenades, and then it cuts to Strange apologizing to Peter, and then Peter apologizing back, before stealing a box Strange was holding. Now I think Strange is trying to send all the villains back to their universes through this box, and Peter is trying to stop him from doing so because it will cause those villains to die, which is why we see Strange chasing after Spider-Man. We see Strange has caught Spider-Man in some sort of portal where he has fired a web and caught it on his own foot. We hear Strange say that there isn't another way, and that they are a danger to our universe. We then see Octavius reacting to his arms integrating with the Iron Spider technology. It then cuts to Spider-Man swinging through the scaffolding at the Statue of Liberty with Electro firing lightning at him. Speaking of Electro, we get a great first look at his appearance in the film. Not only is his lightning comic accurate, but he now has the mask too. They designed it so the lightning projects the mask instead of actually wearing a mask. We hear Jamie Foxx say that they are not going to take this away from him, but it is unclear whether or not this is the Electro from Andrew Garfield's universe or a different one. By his new appearance, I would say that he isn't the same one from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but just a variant. Electro fires lightning and we can see that he actually hits Octavius with it, which would mean that Octavius isn't a villain in the movie. As we know from the ending of Spider-Man 2, Octavius redeems himself and is no longer evil. So it wouldn't make sense to have him as a villain for this movie. Then we see Spider-Man holding the box on top of the Statue of Liberty with Electro behind him. We then hear Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin saying that Peter is struggling to have everything he wants while the world makes him choose. Throughout the speech, we see a shot of Green Goblin, Spider-Man in the integrated suit, and another shot of Green Goblin. However, he looks different. If you remember the leaked images, we saw that Goblin has 2 suits in this movie, so it will be interesting to see how he gets this one. Then we see some sort of magic explosion happen at the Statue of Liberty, which would mean that Doctor Strange has some part to play in the final battle. Then we see a shot of Electro, Sandman, and the Lizard at the Statue of Liberty, cutting to Spider-Man landing in front of them. We hear and see Peter talking to Aunt May about how this is his fault and he can't save everyone. We then get a money shot of Spider-Man swinging across to attack the 3 villains. But what is interesting about this shot is that it looks like Electro and Lizard are way off from hitting Spider-Man. And that's because they are supposed to be. The trailer that was released in Brazil had an editing error, where we can see clearly that Lizard is hit by something or someone. Now this is where Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come into play. I and many others think that they have edited out Tobey and Andrew's Spider-Man out of this scene, so that it is kept as a surprise for the film. There was a rumour a while ago that the money shot of the trailer was both Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, so I think this was the shot, but because of the leaks, they had to edit out the other 2 Spider-Men. Also, if we remember the 4K leak of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, he was on scaffolding, much like what we see in the trailer. The leak from John Campea also had all 3 Spider-Men on scaffolding, and I think there is a 100% chance that the leaks were real, and that they are in the movie. We then see the statue of Cap's shield falling down, destroying the scaffolding, and we see MJ lose balance and falls off the scaffolding, with Ned only being able to hold on to a metal pole. Tom's Spider-Man goes into pursuit in an attempt to save her, drawing parallels to Gwen Stacy's death in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The shot cuts before we see if Peter catches her, but we could be seeing MJ's death in this movie. Another editing error they had was for a split second you can see a red arm to the left of Ned, which would mean that they forgot to edit out either Tobey Maguire's or Andrew Garfield's arm. The final shot of the trailer is an incredible shot of what appears to be the multiverse splitting open. The Statue of Liberty has no scaffolding around it, so we know that this is after the final fight against the Sinister Six or Five. Peter asks what's happening and Strange says that they are starting to come through and that he can't stop them. This could be setting up Doctor Strange 2, where we explore the multiverse even more. So, make sure to let me know what you thought of the trailer and all your theories in the comments below. The trailer did confirm that tickets will go on sale on November 29th, so save the date if you want to see Spider-Man No Way Home very close to its release. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. I hope to see you here again soon. So until then, have a great day. Bye!